Welcome into the film room where I am going to be breaking down one of our own games that we played in our Ball State Chronicles series. This game was massive because we lost to Miami University when we were probably better than them, so in this video I'm going to walk through every single offensive play in this game, what I was thinking pre-snap, what I was thinking during the play, and what we could have done better. The goal of this video is to hopefully help you learn a little bit more about my thought process when I'm playing this game, and also for me to help learn a little bit more about what I'm doing right and wrong. So let's get into it. Let's advance to our first offensive possession. All right, to set the stage, we have the ball about midway through the first quarter. They went down and scored on us quickly, so we're already in a 7-0 hole. We're going to line up in the gun ace offset, which means two tight ends, one on either side, a running back, and then a receiver split out on both sides. We're probably coming out in the touch pass. It's one of my favorite starting plays, especially when you see two high safeties. You see we got one guy over here and one guy over here. What I'm doing right now pre-snap as far as why I want to run the touch pass is I'm looking at the guys in the box. Now, a lot of you might be familiar with that term, but for those of you that aren't, what I'm referring to is basically within the tackle boxes, who on the defense is within 5 to 7 yards. So all four of these defensive linemen are going to be in the box, obviously, and then so are these three linebackers. In other words, they have 7 guys in the box, they have 2 safeties and 2 corners. The reason why I wanted to run the ball here is with 2 tight ends and 5 offensive linemen, we have 7 in the box as well. There's a couple different ways to look at that. One of them is obviously, hey, man on man, we have a 7-on-7, that's fair. But another way to look at it is with 7 offensive guys in the box, we actually have 8 gaps to run through. Like, check it out. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's what's cool. If you have 5 offensive linemen, you have 6 gaps. So because they have 7 guys in the box and we have 8 gaps to run through, I already like it, and I already know that one of the 2 safeties is going to have to get involved in the run fit. So with the touch pass, we know that he's going to get the ball and go immediately out to the right. With where this defensive end is at right now, my first thought is, hey, can I break this outside because our tight end is outside of that defensive end? Let's see how I did. Interesting. Okay. Solid. 8 yards, very straightforward play. I like the look pre-snap. Nothing I would have done differently there. Okay, second and short, they're showing the exact same look. In hindsight, I totally should have ran the ball here. Same thing as last time. They got 7 defenders in the box. We have 7 offensive players to block those 7 guys. We totally could have ran an inside zone or an outside zone and immediately picked this up. However, what ended up happening, and I explain it in the video, the past version of me, is I actually feel like they're bringing a man blitz. The reason why is because in old video games in like Madden 21 and 22, if all the linebackers would look like perfectly symmetrical and just not moving at all, they were usually running thunder smoke where all 3 linebackers would blitz. If that's the case, the running backs usually left wide open. So honestly, it was just a gut feeling. I had a feeling they were going to do that again. So I was hoping that all 3 linebackers would blitz and I'd throw it to the flat to Davis immediately. They don't do that. As soon as the ball snapped, you could see they're rushing. I think that they're rushing 5, right? No, yeah, they're rushing 6. So it was a 6-man blitz. It wasn't a 7-man blitz, which meant that Davis, our running back, was covered by that safety. However, it did mean man-to-man, and they were going to get to us very quickly. We had 5 blockers. They were rushing 6. So we had to get that ball out, just going to throw it up on the corner route. That's fair. We did get an OPI out of this, which was nice. But in hindsight, I still think I probably should have just ran the ball with that look and picked up the first down. Okay, 1st and 10, we're coming out in the duo over, which is one of the formations in my custom playbook that I love because of the mismatches that it creates. So this is what it looks like at a wide view. We have both running backs to the right-hand side. We also have a tight end to the right, and then we have both receivers to the right. And to make things even crazier, we're doing this all on the short side of the field. Look at all the space over there. So the reason why I'm doing this is because we're going to run the triple option, and I like this because we have 2 receivers and a tight end. So 24, Christian Davis is going to be our inside guy. 20, TJ Horton is going to be our pitch man. This is going to be our initial read right there. I like the look, okay? They do only have 1 high safety, so they did bring down the other safety. I think he's 24 right there, but I still like what we're looking at here. Again, if we're just counting guys in the box, they got 4 here, they got 3 there, so that's 7. That's probably 8 in the box, but to be fair, we have quite a few bodies up here ourselves. I mean, we still got a tight end and 2 running backs, so 8 in the box doesn't really scare me too much in this formation, especially because we're trying to get outside. So ball snap, cool. Now this is where I mess up. All right, let's go back and look one more time. We know the pitch man is going to be on RB, and I should have remembered that in my head, because watch what happens here, okay? Ready? Ball is snapped, goes inside, cool. Pitchman is right here. Okay, this guy is getting blocked, and that's kind of distracting me. But look at the pitchman, look at the pitchman. I don't know. I think what I did wrong here is I didn't just go with the gap. Right there is a massive hole, and I'm focusing so much on the pitchman that I essentially run out of real estate. And TJ Horton isn't going to run to the sideline, so he just kind of has to stop. Therefore, the pitch just kind of goes straight back, and those guys are able to cover the quarterback and the pitchman. Had I have just saw the gap and took it with my quarterback and had the guts to go right there, maybe this guy doesn't even have the leverage to come and get me, or at the very least, we get a 3 to 4 yard gain with my quarterback. Tough angle for me, still like the play call, still like the decision, just got to run it better, and I guess we're getting ads on here. That's crazy. I thought if I was watching my own video, I wouldn't get ads, but hey, YouTube's YouTube. So, all right, 2nd and long. First thought right here is, hey, maybe we run the ball. And, if you look at the setup they have, it's probably a good idea. 2 high safeties, only 5 guys in the box. We got 5 offensive linemen. An inside zone here could be a killer. However, I'm not the biggest fan of running it on 2nd and long. I feel like you're just guaranteeing yourself a 3rd and medium. I'd rather just go for the first down immediately. So we're going to call a screen pass. I feel like that's fair. One small tweak that's good for you to know, if you haven't already seen it in my videos, I always shift the offensive line towards the screen because that helps RB, the running back, not run into the offensive lineman, because I feel like in this game they're always running into the backs of the offensive lineman and it just breaks the whole screen. So I like the look. Nothing stands out as far as what their defense is doing. So the big goal right here is just, hey, can we get the ball out in time before the defense gets to us? And I don't. And I make this mistake all the time, and it makes me so mad to watch. We know we have to release the ball. What we want to do is I want to try and release it after this initial hesitation right there, and I'm just a little bit too late. I don't know. Maybe I tap it and just lob it a little bit more. Maybe I get more depth with my quarterback immediately. I'm not sure, but that is just unacceptable as a player, because a screen is only good if the guy gets the ball in space. Had he have gotten the ball in space right there, I really like the look. 3 linemen, 2 people inside leverage, they run him off, he gets at least outside for 8 to 10 yards. Maybe these 2 corners figure out that it's a screen and they turn around, but really that could have been a massive gain, and instead we are left with a 3rd and long. So okay, 3rd and long here, we are switching the formation so we could run that deep crosser to the wide side of the field. It's going to give Presley a lot more space running to the left instead of where we initially were running to the right. Now pre-snap, single high safety, that looks fine. They walk somebody down. Maybe they're man-to-man on the running back. Davis, our running back, has a short motion and then a little hitch. What we're looking at here is we are looking immediately for Presley on the crosser if it's there. If it's not there, that means to me that whoever's playing this hook to curl zone, like the left-hand side here, maybe it's this guy, maybe it's this guy, whoever's playing this zone is probably running with Presley deep. If that's the case, I'm hoping Davis will be wide open underneath. With this fade route with Messer, anybody that has a flat concept probably has to respect him. So in other words, I'm looking at Presley immediately. If he's open, we'll throw it. If not, let's look for the check down for Davis. Otherwise, let's go make a play because it's 3rd and 10, so we got to be aggressive. So here we go. Quick motion of Davis over to the left after I get done talking. You can't see it because I'm blocking my old self, but my old self is previously just talking right now on the left. Okay, so here we go. Davis in motion. There it is. Bang. Let's pause right here. So what are we seeing? Well, like I said, there's that flat guy. He had to respect X. Davis kind of open, but again, that hook to curl person is just kind of waiting. So if we could just wait just a little bit longer, bang. What do we got here? That doesn't look very good. That doesn't look very good. The check down's there. That crosser took way too long to develop, and there's somebody following it. Because it took so long to develop, this guy doesn't have to respect RB. He's able to come down on Davis. I don't like the post over the middle because of that deep safety, so we're scrambling. And honestly, I'm fine with that. We pick up the first down, and that is what I mean when I say pre-snap. I want to know what I'm looking for, because we knew, okay, is Presley open? No. Okay. Is Davis open? No. Okay. Make a play. So Presley not open, Davis not open. Okay, we're going to go make a play, and just having the ability to move on quickly is why we picked up that first down right there. Now, this is one of my favorite plays, red zone Dusty, okay? For some reason, this corner route in particular is like the best corner route. It's like a very hard cut to the outside. So this is kind of a backwards progression as far as how I've been reading this, but I want to start with the corner. Is it open? Because these rub routes actually will rub off the guy that's currently set as our mic right now. If he's not open over on the outside, Presley is usually so far across the field on that quick slant that I can't even look at him, but that delayed in with Messer right around the middle of the field tends to be open if A isn't. So that's kind of my progression on this. We're going to start with A, go to X. If it's not X, let's make a play. So let's see what we got here. Okay, man to man, and there it is. I know it's man because watch how this guy looks at A. He just stares him down and he flips his hips with him just like that. We know it's man. We know that those guys are following, so we make the throw. Nice catch there. Big first down. Now, could I have thrown it a little bit more on a rope and tried to set up some yak? Probably. I mean, if I bullet it right there, maybe he catches it right at the 30-yard line and he cuts it up. Maybe we get a few extra yards, but honestly, I'm fine with that. That was open. Let's move. Okay, 1st and 10. Again, they are giving us a too high safety look. We're a really good run team. I'm not sure why I'm coming out in the quads empty on 1st and 10 in the red zone. At this point, we should probably be getting some easy yards, but instead we're running all curls. The way I'm looking at this here is Christie does tend to be pretty open. Munson really does do a good job of kind of just muddying up the middle of the field. If somebody's on like a middle hook or like a vertical hook or something, you know, they'll stay on Munson, and then the outside people have to respect Messer over there. So Christie does tend to be open. So we look at Christie first, then the check down to Davis. Okay, so let's pause right here. This guy is too close to RB to make that throw. A doesn't look to be like it's a good option. Actually looks like somebody is dropping to Christie. So at this point, I got to get the ball to Davis quickly, try and get positive yards. Don't do it quick enough, I get hit. Now, in hindsight, if we go back, let's watch that right tackle and that defensive end. Watch how quickly he wins this matchup. In hindsight, I don't think there's anything I could have done differently. Ready? Bam, right around him, to him immediately. I mean, maybe, just maybe, I need to have that internal clock of like, okay, throw it to B right now. And maybe if I throw it right there, I get it out instead of me just hesitating a little bit. But honestly, we just got to get a better right tackle. Okay, 2nd and 10. Now, this is me getting mad at the past version of myself, because why in the world am I running a touch pass on 2nd and long? I don't think this is the right play to run, especially when they walked down that linebacker. And as you can see, doesn't work as well. We got 3rd and medium, but honestly, I think right here I could have cut it up a little bit harder, maybe inside, unclear. You know, maybe we run something differently there. I'm not too happy with that play call or the execution, but it's okay because it's a 3rd and medium, and this is 4-down territory for me. So I have no problem running the ball here. Now, if we're looking at the actual play call, though, we have a tackle over. So 74 is actually a tackle lined up as tight end. Our tight end is at right tackle. So what that means is if we were to actually hand the ball off to Davis, it's not a very good look in my opinion. We have a tight end on their star defensive end that we just saw kill us. They have a right guard that maybe gets to the 2nd level here or maybe to the 2nd level there. Unclear of where he's going to go. Center's got a down block. Maybe he gets to the 2nd level if the left guard can take that defensive tackle. So if we give it to Davis on this read option, I don't like the look. If we keep it, I also am not a huge fan of the look because we have 3 guys over there, so it's going to be kind of far for Samanza to get outside. So in hindsight, looking back on this, I probably should have ran a different run play because this tackle over really didn't work too well. And you can see exactly what I was talking about. So watch that. So watch that inside linebacker. We don't have enough bodies over there to account for him, and we just don't account for him. So if we watch 14 Christie, our tight end that's lined up as tackle, he goes to the 2nd level because he had to go around the D end. He doesn't get there. I have to cut it back inside because he's right there in our face and we only get 4 yards. But hey, that's okay. 4th and 1, we should be able to pick this up. Pistol, empty, QB blast. I love this play because it's like you're running the same thing as like the shotgun empty QB blast, only I'm 2 yards closer. I like the look, 2 high safeties, 5-on-5. We have every reason to pick that up, and we do. All right, but 1st and 10, this is a mistake, okay? Sometimes when I get a 1st down, I get so excited and I want to go tempo and I just go no huddle and I call a play. This swing screen has not worked for me once. I've probably called it 6 times. I have not gained positive yardage at all. If you see me run this play, please make fun of me because for some reason, this like over the shoulder angle that X has to make this catch on is tough and the blocking has not been very good. As you can see, not a good play. All of a sudden, in the red zone, in the most critical spot of the field, we're in a 2nd and long. Now, 2nd and long, we got the RPO alert bubble out of this trips formation, but we're switching out of it, rightfully so. Let me show you why I switched. So right here, if we look before I, switch out of this play, they have the numbers to stop that bubble. They have 2 defenders. It's kind of covered up by the icons, but we have 2 over here, and then this linebacker. If this linebacker comes over and plays this bubble hard, then we're dead. We don't have a shot at getting yardage on the bubble. And as far as the inside zone, look at how muddy this water is. 4 down linemen, linebacker right here, safety walk down, and a corner over here that's not being threatened by anybody. So if we were to run the actual inside zone part, I don't really like the setup that we have. So I'm going to switch out of it. Let's see what we switch into. And luckily we are switching into my favorite pass play in the whole game right now. We have sit Z drag. So Messer's going to come on a quick motion and he's going to stop just outside of Christie. That way this guy is still man to man on him and he's immediately going to cross their face. And for some reason, this rub route has been so effective. So my first look is, hey, is the drag wide open? If it is wide open, make the throw. If not, we got a high-low. So we got a tight end on the corner route. We have Davis on the quick flat. We'll see if either one of those are open. Finally, one last glance at that 8-yard curl. If that's not there, we got to make a play. So let's see the progression, see what we get here. Okay, he's following him, wide open right there. If I get the ball out now, we should be good. The reason why I hesitate is because I did throw a pick 6 on this once because I waited too long, and that right there happened. You see, that would have been an interception. I am glad that I got hit as I was throwing because watch, there's nobody to challenge the flat defender on the left-hand side. Once that post goes inside, this guy's like, okay, well now what? And he comes right back down. Had I have gotten this throw off, he would have picked that. His momentum's coming back. He doesn't have anything challenging him outside. In hindsight, 2nd and long, I need to be willing to just take 5 yards right there. Right there, the ball should be coming out. I should not be holding on like that. I mean, that's just way too long. Bad read by me. I got to get the ball out there. But okay, 3rd and 12. Again, I don't like what the pass version of myself is doing. I should not be running all hitches on 3rd and 12. I get that it's 4 down territory and if it's 4th and 6, we'll go for it, but I just don't think this is the right play call, especially since they're showing man alignment. The reason why I know it's man alignment is because there's nobody in the middle of the field. A middle linebacker usually is in, well, the middle, but he's out on Davis right now, and then everybody else is matched up out on these people. Another cool thing that you could kind of check to see is I know that Christie is a big tight end and Presley is our slot receiver. If you look at who's on Christie, that's an outside linebacker outside of the hash marks. I mean, he had to move out to cover our tight end because why would he stay inside and get matched up on Presley? That's a mismatch. That's why it's man alignment, in my opinion. Now, does it mean they're running man? Not necessarily, because, on Heisman, this computer does a pretty good job at disguising coverages. However, it means they might. And all hitches against man-to-man is not a very good concept. Like, we're not going to be challenging any of them. So it's a pretty hard throw to make. So, my thought process when I run all hitches is if it's zone, somebody's going to be sitting open and I just got to make the right throw. If it's man, everybody's distracted and I scramble. So that's the pre-snap thought process. There it is. It's open. Cool. I should throw it to the left, allow him to turn left. Instead, he turned right. Maybe we do pick up that 1st down if I was a little bit better on the throw, pushing it to the left-hand side, allow him to turn to the open field. I don't. Either way, 4th and 4, I'm definitely going for it in this situation. Now, this play is more of an identity thing because, we want to be good at running the ball as Ball State. Like, this is our type of football. 4th and 4, we should be able to run the read option and pick it up, especially if you have 2 high safeties and man alignment on our receivers. You got 6 guys. We got 6 guys. That means we have 7 gaps and we have a read option, which accounts for that defensive end because he has to respect the quarterback. So I feel good running this ball on 4th and 4. In hindsight, I should not have done that shift, okay? Part of the reason why I do that shift is because if this guy were to crash, the fact that Christie's out here makes it a further angle and it just kind of makes it harder for me to make that read. However, motioning him to the left doesn't seem to do a whole lot because all it really does is set up this linebacker to crash inside harder. Let's see if it happens. Okay, I keep it, never mind. And that's just, I don't know, that's just bad blocking. That's just a bad decision. Unclear, but I don't feel bad for calling a read option on 4th and 4. We need to be able to run the ball and get 4 yards when it matters most. Let's see what happens here with this linebacker. Okay, so we crash, we keep it. Now, I think that I'm going to place the blame on EA here, okay? Because if you look at the matchups, if you pause it right here and we look, this defensive end is accounted for. This guy, we have outside leverage because he was inside of that guard, so we should be able to run outside without this guy getting off. Now, as far as that linebacker, yes, he is outside leverage of number 68, so he probably could get off 68, but look at 74. We have somebody to come in and destroy this guy on the other side and prevent him from making a play. But let's go ahead and watch it through. Does that happen? No, it does not. He's able to get outside because he had outside leverage, and 74 runs right by him. Now that is going to be the top priority for me in College Football 26 as far as what I want EA to do. I would love if they just tweaked their blocking logic a little bit better in the open field, because 74, in my opinion, needs to come down and make that block right there. I mean, his arm hits his face mask. If you look closely right there, his arm is in the guy's face mask. He has no reason to ignore that guy and run to the second level, especially on 4th and 4. So, I feel good about the play call. I feel good about the execution. I'm blaming EA on that one. Okay, drive number 2, down 14-0, still in the first quarter. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I make personally, and I think a lot of other people make in this situation too, is they force things too much. They see a 14-point deficit and they're like, hey, we got to get this back right now. But there are no such things as 14-point touchdowns. I'm not going to get it back on one play. What I need to do in this drive and in all drives going forward is realize that there's still 3 quarters of football left. Let's just do our job. We got to go 85 yards. And let's just try and just score on this drive. That's all that we can control right now. Starting off, we're going to go with the read option, duo over again. Love the look this time, okay? Let's see if we could show you the wide angle. Okay, perfect. So the reason why I love this look is because they did not match their defensive alignment with our offensive alignment. Again, we have 3 receivers over here plus 2 running backs. All 5 eligible receivers are on the left-hand side. So tell me why they have a corner over here, they have a safety over here, and they have a backside linebacker over here. You see you got a defensive end, backside linebacker. Those 3 guys are not needed over there. Who is over there? So because of that, I know we have a numbers advantage. Like, let's kind of let the thing zoom in. Okay, cool. So look at the numbers advantage we have here. If we're running the speed option with 24 Christian Davis, we have a lead blocker right here. We have man on man, man on man. We have Christie, who should be outside leverage of this defensive end. So we should be able to just, push him inside just long enough for us to get outside of him. We have a double team here that somebody could probably go up to the second level. We have a double team here. Maybe somebody goes up to the second level and seals this guy, or even goes and gets the safety. Like, if everybody did their job on this play, we should make the read right at like the 20-yard line, 4 yards down the field, make the pitch and score. Like, in my opinion, this is the perfect play call for this situation. Let's see what happens here. Gets outside. We don't make our blocks, but still, big gain. And, I haven't seen this play in like 2 weeks. I didn't even know if we got the big first down or not, but just off alignment alone, I had a good feeling about this play, and that's what I want to be doing. I want to run plays where I feel confident just based off of the alignment alone. Also, apologies for the sirens. I live in New York. There's a lot of sirens, big city outside. Anyways, personal foul. I think they hit us out of bounds late, so we'll take the extra 15. All of a sudden, we are at midfield after one play. So, me being me, I want to get aggressive. I want to take the shot play here. So we're in duo over again. This formation's been working well, and look at what's different now. All of a sudden, that corner is gone. The safety's still there, but the corner has moved over to this side because this is where all our receivers are. So again, we got man-to-man alignment. If it's man-to-man and we have in-breaking routes like this, I feel good that the middle safety is going to have to respect the post route or the crosser. In other words, Newcomb right here is man-on-man on a wheel route. And if you've played this game a good bit, you know man-to-man on a wheel route is a problem. So immediately I'm thinking, okay, 1st and 10, is the wheel route there in man-to-man? If it's not, we'll go from there. But look at that. Look at how open it is. And like I said, there's the safety respecting the post just enough to make that space. Now, one thing that I did do intentionally on this is look at the angle that he's running and look at where the ball is. I pushed the left stick all the way to the right-hand side, because if we had thrown it forward, we would have allowed that safety to come and make a play. By throwing it to the right, we're going to force the running back to flip his shoulders, look outside, and give a little bit more space between the running back and that safety so he's not able to make a play. Like, watch that safety right here. Watch him. Okay, here we go. Post route inside. He takes half a step inside, but then he sees the ball coming out, immediately crashes. If we had thrown it straight, it would be like right where my mouse is, and he might have made that play. So huge gain, good throw, good read, good blocking, everything awesome. And now we are in 1st and 10, 5-man box. We have no reason not to run the ball here, so we're going to do it. I like the setup. I like the call. Good keep there. Again, with the open field blocking logic, guys. I mean, luckily, the pursuit angles are just as bad as the open field blocking, so it ends up like nullifying itself. But look at our center. He gets a free release off this, right? I mean, I'm sorry, not our center, our left tackle. Because we have a read man right here, he gets a free release. And because we have a double team, our center can get to the second level. So let's watch this double team right here on the inside, center and left guard, bang, second level. All of a sudden our left tackle is free, and there is one guy between us and a touchdown, and that's that safety. And where is he going? He's going to where the safety lined up. Like, look at where the safety's running, look at where he's running. That does not make sense. And then he just happens to be like, oh, there's somebody right there. So that's frustrating, but you know, if I was Miami University, I'd be frustrated because watch my safety. All of a sudden he crashes out, I cut back inside, and it's like he wasn't even there. So again, bad blocking, bad pursuit angles. Either way, I'll take it. 1st and goal. Now, this is where I got to improve my game because we are not converting enough in the red zone. We're down 14, so we need a touchdown here. And I like the read screen, all right? Same thing. They only have 5 in the box, so I want to at least give the option to run the ball, and then we'll make the read. Now, what I don't like is the fact that the read man is the safety and not the corner that's directly on him. So he's crashing, he respects it, we keep it inside, touchdown. Again, I liked the play call before the snap was even made, just based off alignment alone. They have 5 guys, we have 5 guys, and really, they have 4 guys because this defensive end doesn't exist when we run the read plays because he is just taken out of the play by the nature of the read option. I mean, he no longer exists because he's tackling somebody that doesn't have the football. So now all of a sudden we have a 5-on-4 and then this safety. And this safety, again, is just standing there, bad pursuit angle. We'll take the touchdown. Awesome drive. I loved everything about this drive as far as using alignment to try and get favorable matchups for our players and then take advantage of it. All right, and our defense comes through with a big stop, so we are getting the ball back here, and we're only down 7. So again, no reason to change our normal play style here. We just want to score points. I'm coming out in the Maryland eye on 1st and 10 on the very first play of the drive for one reason and one reason only, and that's to try and set up the shot play out of this formation later. You see, this formation has a PA halfback wheel where Samanza will play action on the halfback blast, roll out to the right, and Davis will run a backside wheel route. And what I have found is with the adaptive AI that the defense has, if you pull up in a run-heavy formation like this and show them, hey, I'm going to run the ball out of this formation, the next time you come out, they're going to send the house. And if you send the house on a wheel route with our fast running back there, it's over. So do I want to gain yards on this play? Yes, I definitely do. And do I like the play call because they have 2 high safeties and the corners are off? Yes, I do. I mean, again, 7 guys in the box and we have 7 right here plus 2 lead blockers. We have all 11 players in this camera shot. So like, it's also a decent play, but I'm really running it to set it up later. So I'm just going to get downhill north and south as quickly as possible. We make that happen, few yards, awesome. Even if we only gained 1 yard, I would be happy. Now, 2nd and medium, I do feel comfortable taking a shot here in most situations. In hindsight, you know, we're still backed up on our own like 35, 37. So maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should try and pick up the 1st down, get closer to midfield so we can go for it more comfortably on 4th down. But you saw this play earlier. This one is a slight variation of the other drag play. This time we have double drags on either side and then a mesh concept over the middle. So as far as progression on this, same thing. We want to look at the motion drag. Is it open? If it's man-to-man, the rub routes aren't incredible. B is always so open. If not, we'll look and see, is the other drag route open? Okay, no, that's fine. By the time both of them have crossed one another, we'll look for the center for Christie right over the middle. If Christie's open, we'll make the throw. If he's covered, what that usually means to me is that somebody is man-to-man on him, and that means the middle of the field is open for me to scramble. Now, the only reason why I wouldn't throw it to one of those 3 guys is if I see it's man-to-man and I can identify it and get that ball outside to Davis, running back wheel route, I'm taking it. So, okay, here we go. I like the alignment. I like the setup. Let's watch it. Okay, inside. Oh, and that right there is a good sign. You watched him follow it immediately. So we make that throw, people get picked, and we get the 1st down. Again, the pick plays are so natural that I think their own players ran into each other. I think this guy ran into the guy man-to-man. Yeah, look at that. I paused it at the perfect time. They are running into one another, and we make that throw. Now, I do want to say, 7 yards is awesome, but let's just for the sake of it, watch Davis. If I know it's man-to-man, and if I know that we have something threatening that deep safety, which we do, look at that route right there, right over the middle to threaten the deep safety. If we know it's man-to-man, and if we know the safety's accounted for, I should trust my running back on the wheel route. Watch the running back right here. His man is actually this guy. This guy is man-to-man on him. And look at that. Look at the space. Look at the space over there. It's so open. That could have been a 70-yard gain, not a 7-yard gain. You know, that's one interesting quirk when you have man-to-man and you have trips and the running back on the trip side. I think the defense doesn't like to move this guy over to the right, because then all of a sudden you have 4 guys on the same side. So even though he's man-to-man on the running back, he's on the weak side, which means if the running back goes outside immediately, look at how much ground this guy has to cover. I mean, that is open. Going forward, I need to see that because I didn't see it until just now. So that is really interesting to note. Okay, 1st and 10. I should not be going tempo here. I'm doing it because we got a good play and I'm feeling excited. But I do like the play call. 2 high safeties, linebackers parted like the Red Sea. So quarterback blast. You know, our quarterback's medium athletic, so this is okay. I don't like the cut there. Maybe I cut it inside instead. The reason why I cut it left was because I saw that linebacker kind of crash in and I got a little nervous. Trying to follow the blocks. We'll take 4 yards though. That's solid. All right, 2nd and 6, 2 high safeties. I like the look to just run the ball here, and I'm fine with it. You're showing me 4 down linemen. You're showing me 2 linebackers. We have 5-0 linemen and a spare blocker, so hopefully that linebacker has to respect the other running back going inside. Basic inside zone. Got to double up to the 2nd level, and I kind of screwed up the cut there. If we go back and we look, I know that this guy should get off on him, and I did not see him get off till the last second, so I got a little nervous. In reality, maybe I just stick it outside there instead of making this hard cut, because it kind of stopped all my momentum. But either way, 3rd and short, right at midfield. This is 4 down territory. We should be able to run the ball twice and pick it up, and I love this look. We're in the wide offset, which means that our receivers are all the way spread out. Look at how far Presley is on the right-hand side. He is outside of the numbers out there. So because of that, they have to respect him on either side. And again, I love this look. This guy, this linebacker is stuck in no man's land, which means we got 4 down linemen and a linebacker, 5-0 linemen. We're running 0-1 trap. So this left guard needs to kick out. The defensive tackle will run right behind his back, pick up the 1st down, and I like it. Even though I'm sitting there juking in the backfield for no reason, easy 10-yard gain. And that's what I want to continue to do with our offense. Like in hindsight, look at this alignment. I need to be running the ball here. I don't know if I check into a run. I do not. I run all hitch, and they're in man-to-man, and that's not a good play. In hindsight, again, I got the 1st down. I go no huddle for no reason outside of, hey, I want to play fast. But look at this. This is such a good look to run the ball. Their safeties are 15 yards back. Their linebackers are outside of the numbers covering our slot receivers. We need to run the inside zone right there and pick it up. Instead, we're in a meaningless 2nd and 10 when we should be in a 2nd and 5. So now 2nd and 10, I wise up. Even though I don't like the 2nd and 10 runs, I do like it when it's this open. Again, we're going to switch to the first run that we have available, which is a trap alert screen. So we will give a quick glance over to the screen passes, but really we wanted to run the ball downhill, and that's exactly what we're going to do. 3rd and 2, 2 tight ends to the right, 2 receivers to the left. We're running the read option, and I really like this look. In fact, we switched to an inside zone, and the reason why is look at this outside linebacker and look at where our 2 tight ends are. In reality, I think we should be able to seal him off, and then it's a race to the sideline between this linebacker and our running back. And I know our running back is fast, so immediately I'm taking it, and we're going to make that race. Luckily, our tight ends did a great job of getting to the 2nd level too. Watch 14 Christie right here. Immediately double team, 2nd level, bounce outside, nothing but space. Love the alignment, love the play call, love the execution. Awesome. 1st and 10, we want to take a deep shot, all right? We are getting aggressive. We've been running the ball well, back-to-back plays, and we're seeing press coverage. This kind of goes back to understanding who is on your team and who you're playing against. Presley has a very high release rating. Like if you press the guy, it is a big disadvantage for the defense. I see press, I want to run 4 verts. I know it's first and 10 in the red zone, so I can afford to just check it down to the little hitch on 4 verts or just try to scramble. So what we're gonna look right here, left-hand side, does either guy win their matchup? If so, make the throw. If not, we're running with the quarterback. So here we go, press, just like we said. I mean, look at that release. He pushes him, and it's like the corner got punished for the press. Immediately, 2 yards of separation, we're bulleting it, we're throwing it to the left, away from the guy, and we get the touchdown. Awesome throw, awesome play call. I love the aggressiveness there, seeing that they're pressing us and knowing that we got the talent to beat that. All of a sudden, we got a tie game, and to make matters worse, they throw this pick. And I'm not going to talk too much about our defense on this video, maybe for another video, but I needed to show you this play so that you can understand that we are starting our next possession at the 3-yard line, okay? First and goal from the 3, we need to punch it in and take this lead. So what do we call? Well, we call the halfback pass at the 3-yard line. Looking back at it, and not just because I know it didn't work, but I really don't think this is the right call for us, okay? We have speed everywhere. We have a really cool playbook. We do not need to sit here and bully them with the run right up the middle. But that's what we do. Hand it off. Big hole there, we don't get it. That's okay. Second and goal, we still have plenty of different plays to go with, plenty of different options. Right now, we're subbing in our backup quarterback for a quarterback sweep play. This is a very successful play for me on the goal line. It's very easy to get outside, so I like the play call. I don't like the execution there. In hindsight, looking back at it, look at 36, our tight end. He's got an angle on the guy. If we just hard cut right there, that's probably a touchdown. I'm so used to having space on the outside that I didn't even consider it, and we're gonna get tackled. But really, I think we really should have just pressed LT right here, put the foot in the ground, and punched it in. Instead, we're in a 3rd and goal situation. Now at this point, we ran the ball twice, hasn't worked. Should I be running this play? Probably not. Again, we just want to use numbers to get to the outside, use our speed, but this halfback stretch play out of the 3 tight end set to the right-hand side has not worked for me once. I don't know why it's all of a sudden going to work now. They blow it up from the very start, and all of a sudden, starting off at the 3-yard line, we are forced to kick a field goal. If I could do anything differently on this drive, I would have probably thrown it on 3rd and goal, and I also wouldn't have ran it right down the middle on 1st and goal. I think I got lazy. I tried to take advantage of the easy field position. We got to make sure that we bring our best plays every play. But hey, our defense is getting stops here. We're going to get the ball back with 90 seconds left at the 32-yard line. This is classic 2-minute drill. We do have 1 timeout, which is more than enough to at least try and get a field goal. So let's go and score. Now, we wanted to come out in that trips formation that we ran earlier with the red zone Dusty, and I ran down the clock. It took me too long to find the formation, so I just had to snap this ball. The quick in is not there. This should have been a pick. I was getting flustered because I just picked the play at the last second. I forced it here. This is pure luck. We're going to take the 5-yard gain, but man, that should have been a pick. But okay, the reason why we wanted this formation is because we wanted to go back to the red zone Dusty. Again, we got the corner route here. We have 2 in routes. In hindsight, I gotta look at that outside corner. Is he staying? And he is. I should not be making this throw. RB is running a corner route to the corner. It is so covered. I need to be able to tuck it and run right here, or check it down to Davis and see if he can win that one-on-one matchup. Instead, I force a bad throw. The problem here is that there is nobody to force that corner to get vertical. If B was running a streak, I probably could have pulled that ball down like I did and force RB to make that catch on the sideline, but the corner is not being threatened. That's a bad throw all around. So back to back, I throw 2 balls that probably both should have been intercepted. So it's fitting that on 3rd and 5, I make this decision. So this is a classic curl flat concept. You probably ran this 100 times before. I like adding one small thing, which is a stick right here. And the reason why is because when it's zone, I tend to find that that stick is pretty helpful. At the very least, if it's not open, I know that that guy is respecting the stick, and it makes it easier for me to scramble and pick up the first. So looking back at it, it's definitely man alignment. We see their slot corner on our slot receiver, and it's man-to-man. I think I did a half decent job at making this throw at the right timing. In reality though, a 5-yard hitch is tough because this guy is not getting challenged vertically. Watch the corner. He takes maybe 1 step back, 2 steps back, and then he's able to come up and pick that ball. I don't think I should have thrown that. I honestly thought it was zone. I thought it was going to be open. I thought he was going to like just keep getting distance. He was in man-to-man. That was a mistake, and it especially hurts when you watch a deeper curl where you do challenge the corner. Look at how open B is. I mean, that was a good route. That was a good option, and I just should not have made this throw, and at the very least, I should have pushed it inside, not outside. Instead, I push it outside, and I make it even easier for the guy to come down and snipe us, get the interception. But hey, at the same time, they probably deserved it because those first two throws should have been picked off too. Just bad decision making on my part all around post snap. The pre-snap stuff was good. I like the plays that we were calling, but I got to make the right reads once that ball is snapped. Unsurprisingly, they did score a touchdown there. They had a short field, so we still have a shot. 37 seconds left, one timeout. We could still go down and kick a field goal, but we need to get a first down quickly. Now we're in the wide trips, so if you look at X all the way over here, he's outside the numbers and he is on an island. I actually really like making this curl route throw because unless this safety rolls over, there is no reason for X not to win that matchup. So that's what I'm looking at. Does the safety roll over? Nope, he's going deep. Great, we're making that curl route, easy 10 yards. Clock is going to stop with 33 seconds. Let's get on the ball, and we're not even going to audible. We're going to stay in 4 verts and just try and make a play. We don't have time to audible. We're going to look at the crosser with Messer. Otherwise, we're making a play. All of a sudden, it's man-to-man. Crosser's open. Push it outside. Get upfield. Get out of bounds. All of a sudden, we're in field goal range. 1 timeout. 22 seconds left. Awesome. Now, what's not awesome is this play call, dude. I have ran this play a couple times. I have no idea how to make the right reads. Also, this wheel route runs directly into that inner curl route, so like it's just not a good play. I should not have called it. I think I was getting lazy here, and honestly, I don't deserve to have anything on this play, and I don't get anything, and I have to burn a timeout. So now 18 seconds left, no timeouts. We could take a couple shots at the end zone, but we really don't have the space for anything else. We're back in the box, halfback strong, back to that drag route, but really we're looking shot play to Davis, okay? We want to try and get it into the end zone, so it's either an incomplete pass or a touchdown, and it works. The read from earlier happens to work. They happen to be running man-to-man with the same alignment. This guy backside is man-to-man on Davis. He has to go all the way across the field, runs into his own guy, and by then it's too late. I got bailed out that they were in man-to-man, and we just happened to run the play from earlier. Other than that, we should not have walked away with points on this drive. That's just the computer kind of gifting us that one, but we'll take it. Okay, second half, 3-point lead. After starting off down 14-0, we've done a great job of playing our style of football, but now we want to double down. Let's run the ball. Let's score some points, make it a 2-possession lead, triple option, duo over. We've ran this play once before this game. It looks great. Same thing. We got a tight end here, free release up to the linebacker. Pitchman is going to be the slot corner, so Presley should be able to go handle a safety. B should handle the corner. We read this guy. We make the right plays. Let's do it. Okay, he crashes. Awesome. We're keeping it. And look at this. Oh my goodness, man. Oh my goodness. I think there's 2 key areas of our game. There's all the stuff that goes in pre-snap. You know, do we run the ball here? Yes. Okay. What play do we run? Well, duo over. Okay. Is the alignment good? Yes, it's good. They have a corner on the backside. They have a linebacker on the backside. We got the numbers over here. All the pre-snap stuff is solid. But once that ball is snapped, it's about making the right decisions, and this is the wrong one. His hips are turned, he is sprinting at the pitchman, and there is nothing but green grass in front of him. If we get one good spin move on number 7 back there, this is a 75-yard touchdown, and instead, I press LB, and I give them 7 points. We cannot afford to do that. That is just a post-snap decision that I have to get better at. But hey, all the pre-snap stuff I love, but I got to make better decisions there. All of a sudden, we're down 4. So rather than going triple option, let's go with the swing pass. This has been a very successful play. I like it. They don't have too many players over there. They have one-on-one and then a safety. We get our blocks. We do a good job. 4 yards, safety comes down, that's fine. Actually 6 yards, even better. So now let's get downhill. Again, 4 down linemen, 1 linebacker. They have 2 safeties. Now what's interesting to me is there's nobody on RB because there's actually 2 players over here on B, that backside linebacker. So, you know, in reality, you want to use RB in some way, shape, or form. Maybe I should have kind of rolled a little bit more outside. Let's see what that left tackle did. Yeah, he did a good job blocking. Maybe I roll outside and lean on RB. Cutting it back kind of put us in a tough spot, but that's okay. 3rd and inches, pick it up immediately. They gave us a good look. We need to take what the defense gives us, first down. And now that we're in first down, we could go with the angle screen. Same thing, we're gonna slide the O-line to the screen side. And again, just like all screens, it's about getting the football out. And for the second time today, I do not get that football out in time. And again, it sucks because if you pause it and look, there is green grass, man. We got the block right here. We got 2 guys going. We have 2 guys inside. We cut it back outside. It could be a 20-yard gain. Instead, it's nothing because I'm not getting the ball out quick enough. 2nd and long, I don't see the reason to run this football here, except for the fact that they have 2 high safeties and 2 wasted players on the right. Again, there is nobody out there except for our tight end. You do not need 2 guys over here, so we have the numbers. I mean, left tackle takes that guy, left guard takes that guy, center gets up to the 2nd level, seals the Mike linebacker, we get outside. If A can just block a safety, this could be a big gain. So, while I don't like the 2nd and long runs, I'm willing to make exceptions at times. This is a worthwhile exception if we make our blocks, and unfortunately we don't here. And while I'll take 1,000,000% of the blame on the bad pitch, I will not take any blame on what happens to this defensive tackle. Let's watch him right here. Ready? Here we go. What in the world was that? Did he know our play? Is he stealing signs? Is this guy Connor Stallions right here playing defensive tackle? Did Connor Stallions put on some weight? Like, how did he know to immediately run to the left? He beats our running back, and our running back's running outside zone. Like, he crosses the guard's face and is immediately out there. I will not take the blame on that play, because also look at where things would have been if he didn't make this play. Pause it right here. If he's not there, we have green grass in front of us, man. Number 11 needs to block that safety. We're handling business outside. We got the seal on the Mike linebacker, exactly what we wanted. If it wasn't for the computer just kind of breaking things, that's a big play, so I'm not going to take the blame there. Now, 3rd and 13, though, we got to call the right play, and I don't think the bunch quad spot concept is the right play. The reason why is because we don't have anybody pushing vertically. So what I mean is, if we look at that corner route, if there's somebody playing like a deep half or a deep third, they're going to be able to cover the corner because they don't have anything going deeper than the corner to force them to play the deep ball. So if this guy is in a deep third, then he's going to cover the corner route. If this guy's in a deep half, he's going to cover the corner route. Either way, that corner route is not open, and that's the only route on the right-hand side that's getting enough depth to pick up the first down. So this is a play call thing. This is a pre-snap thing. I'm not running the right play here, but let's see what happens. Get the motion, get outside, look at the corner route. Oh boy, but it was there though. I will admit, had we have had better blocking, the corner route actually was there. This defensive corner breaks hard on RB, safety's inside. I mean, that was open. If we would have got the ball out quick enough, that's just a blocking thing. We get smoked on both sides. I think that right defensive end made the play again. Yeah, I mean, he hurdles our tackle. Even if that was covered, I would have liked to at least get the ball out. We just need a better right tackle to help match up against that defensive end because he's blowing up a lot of these plays. Now, drive is over, but they roughed us. So we get a second shot. We don't deserve it, but we get a second shot, down 4 after a horrible pitch play. We need to take advantage of this free shot that we got. So what do? We come out in 1st and 10 with a 2 high safety look and nobody in the middle of the field, and we run this. I mean, this is just not what we want to be doing, man. This is not our style of football, and all of a sudden we're in 2nd and long because that defensive end is dominating our offense. I mean, they're in a basic zone concept. The problem is why the flat route gets stuck on the defensive end so he doesn't push that flat defender out quick enough to throw it to RB, and by the time we figure it out, we get sacked. I mean, we just should not be throwing the ball on 1st and 10 right there off a free play, and we definitely shouldn't be running that concept. I mean, that is just, you run that in the red zone when you're looking to try and pick up 3 or 4 yards. That is not the play call, and rightfully so, we get punished for it. 2nd and long, at this point, we kind of need to air the ball out. Okay, we're not going to pick this up running inside zones over and over again. They have 2 linebackers inside, so even though they have 2 high safeties, I don't think the inside zone is there, so we're going to take another shot play. We're going to double team the right defensive end this time. We have a mesh concept, so double drags and then a curl route, but at this point, I am staring down RB. I knew that pre-snap. You can't see it, but when I was, playing this game, I was like, hey, we need to hit the wheel route. And the problem is when you tunnel a guy, you lose focus. You're like, wait a second, why am I throwing it to RB? So as I start to scramble, all of a sudden, look at how open that backside drag is. I go to make that throw and I press the wrong button, dude. I press the wrong button, and it's a composure thing. That's a post-snap thing. It's a make the right reads thing. Like, A is wide open right there. I need to have the composure to make that throw. Instead, I'm sitting here, I'm looking at all these different things. I didn't have a plan pre-snap, so I'm just pressing a button, and that is just a horrible, horrible throw. If a Pop Warner quarterback made that throw, you'd take him off to the sideline and immediately say, hey, never play quarterback again. I should not be making this throw in this scenario down 4 on 2nd and long. I mean, that's just, even if I accidentally press the wrong button, I need to have a better plan in place before the snap so that that doesn't occur. Luckily, Miami wants to lose this game as much as I do because they missed the chip shot field goal, so we get the ball back down 4. Again, we are getting gifted opportunities here, and at this point, I have turned the ball over on back-to-back possessions. I have no business being aggressive here. We need to play our game, especially since we are lucky enough to only be down 4. And if you look at the alignment, like we were doing earlier in the game, 2 high safeties, both linebackers are spread out. We should be running the ball inside right here to set up a second and reasonable. Instead, we audible the red zone Dusty and we start running all these hot routes. And all of a sudden, I get this gut feeling that they're in Tampa 2. And if they're in Tampa 2, I want to run the vertical there. I want to run the vertical here. I want to run the vertical here. I want to make this guy cover X. I want to make that guy go out to B. And I want to nail Presley right in the seam over that linebacker's head. For some reason, I just felt like it was Tampa 2. And then it's not. And then it's not. It's like cover one hole, man to man. So now we're throwing a 70-yard deep ball off of back-to-back turnovers on 1st and 10 when they were begging us to run the football. I mean, hopefully this is helping you get better, but really it's just making me mad looking back. I mean, again, same thing here. 2nd and 10, they are not respecting our run game. They have just assumed that we're not going to run the football anymore. We need to be running the football here, even though it's 2nd and long, even though I hate 2nd and long runs. 2 high safeties, linebacker is out on Christie, so we have a 5 on 5. We get inside, we cut it up, and we get 8 yards. Instead, okay, hang on. No free advertising for anybody. But instead of running inside, we go with the touch pass, which is an okay play, but that defensive end has been killing us all game. Why did I suddenly expect him to not blow this play up? He immediately challenges the right tackle, gets enough depth to where I run into him, and I'm forced to cut it inside, and we only get 4 yards. If I would have just cut it up immediately, maybe we get a little bit more. If I would have been more aggressive on the outside, maybe we get a little bit more. But you know what's more than 4 yards? The 9 yards we probably would have gotten just running inside zone. But okay, 3rd and 6, same thing. They have parted like the Red Sea, those linebackers. They have both safeties deep. Look at the middle of the field. The ref is more likely to make this play than anybody else. So I think we run QB draw screen here. Decent play call. One small problem I have with this play, looking back in hindsight, this has occurred 3 or 4 times when I run this play. For some reason, we just don't block the right defensive end. I think it's kind of like in real life where you don't want to block him because you want him to get too deep so you can get the screen pass out. But look at our right defensive end here, the one that's been killing us all game. Free release, and it forces me to make that throw because I'm scared of making the draw. Had we have gotten that block on that guy, I mean, the draw play is there. The outside linebacker did not crash hard enough. We should be able to just run it inside, and we have the numbers to do so. I mean, if this right guard takes that defensive tackle, this center gets depth, I think we could just run it right up the middle for 6. Instead, I throw the screen, and we don't get very good blocking, and rightfully so. I mean, I should not be relying on this little slot receiver to cover this big, like, nickel or safety or whoever this guy is. He's not going to block him one-on-one. We only get 2 yards. 4th and 4, we are going for it, and I know it's crazy, but we are running the triple option. But pre-snap, I love this, okay? The only other thing I might have done differently is if we trusted France on this corner, maybe we run a quick 5-yard out and just trust him on that wide side to make that matchup. But really, the read option looks great here. I mean, our left tackle is going to get a free release because this guy is the read man. So the left tackle should be able to get downfield, seal off this linebacker, kill him from the play. These two should double team the defensive tackle, kill him from the play. This safety runs down, we read him, and we pick up the first down. I mean, I love all the work we did pre-snap. The alignment's good, the play call's good for 4th and 4. I like it. Post-snap, again, on the triple option, we have problems. That's the right read, but right here, knowing the safety is sprinting at us like a bullet or like a bull in a china shop, we need to hold down LB and not tap LB and get the ball outside quickly. Now this, I will admit, was before I knew that that you could hold down LB, so that's why I didn't do it at the time. But if we hold down LB and we power pitch this thing, we get outside quicker, we get the first down and maybe more. Instead, the ball sits in the air and all of a sudden they're able to cover both the quarterback and the running back because that ball sits for so long. So we didn't deserve this play because of the post-snap decision. I need to hold down LB there, but I like the pre-snap stuff. I will stand by that triple option call. Now, after gifting Miami chance after chance, they finally convert. All of a sudden, we are down 11. We should be down 30 off how bad these previous drives were, but now we're only down 11. Still 2-score games, still not even in the fourth quarter, and they are loading up the box. Now, this is what I do like to see when we run 2 tight ends and a running back. I mean, they have 9 guys in the box, so we need to check to a pass here. We do. It's Y sail though, and I don't like the corner route because it's a very soft cut. We throw it up because it's man-to-man. That's okay. In hindsight, the biggest mistake that we made on this play was taking so long to choose it that when we come out and diagnose the defense, we only have 5 seconds to make adjustments. So I don't have time to put Y on a 10-yard out instead of a corner route because I think he would have done better on a 10-yard out. So we have to throw the corner. It's incomplete. And the biggest mistake we made there was we took too long to pick a play. 2nd and 10, that's fine though. We stay in the 2 tight end set. They all of a sudden have both safeties off. So we have 7 guys. They have 7 guys. I feel good running the ball here. I feel good with that shift, and that defensive end has been killing us, so it's good to take him out of the play. And I like that, okay? I like that. I don't like the cutback though, okay? If we go and look right there, I mean, that looks solid for a few yards. I'm not too sure why I cut it back. Maybe we could have got 5 or 6 yards. That's okay. 3rd and 7, we come out in the monster. This is just math. We have 3 offensive linemen. They have 2 guys right here. We have every right to pick up this first down. I'll be mad if we don't. And we do. Good. Again, we use the pre-snap alignment to set up the easy post-snap work. We didn't have to do anything fancy there. That was awesome. We've called this play before. Motion, sit, Z, drag. So we got the Z coming in, drag concept. Nice. It's open. I look to the other side. That's fine. That's open too. We just needed a few yards. I like the read. Like the call. Solid. Okay. 2nd and medium now. We should be able to run the ball. We want to get to a 3rd and reasonable. We run power read. I need to keep that there, and I did not. And that is just a bad post-snap decision. The only way I'm going to start fixing these is if I get in the lab, get in practice mode, and just drill this down because I need to know to keep this with Samanza. That right guard is pulling. It's going to kick out that linebacker. We have a massive gap up there. Should be a 5-yard gain. Instead, it's a 5-yard loss. Now, again, pre-snap, this is a mistake. I should not be running a read option on 3rd and 11 down 11 points. So the fact that we had to audible out of it means that we have limited options, and all of a sudden we're running this X replace concept with a hitch and a 12-yard in. It's an okay concept, but it's not my favorite. I'm not very good at running it, and we get lucky that they crashed on a 5-yard hitch on 3rd and 11. I mean, both guys came down on that, so that was there. I needed to bullet that anyways. The ball should be right where my arrow is, not where this is, because I just made it too likely that this guy could have broken that up. Luckily, we hold on, we get the first down, but that's luck. I don't like that. We're gonna stay tempo, down 11. We're running the exact same play. We're just gonna make some basic hot route adjustments instead. Stay out concept, I like it. We've drilled it in before. We do this all the time. It's open. Nice. I mean, going back, right there, the ball needs to come out. I waited too long, and this flat defender was able to cover the out route and then crash down on it. That's the difference between 1 yard and 4 yards, but either way, they did a good job. But okay, fourth quarter has begun. We are back to the Maryland eye on 2nd and long. This is the shot play that we wanted. However, I don't think we should be calling it on 2nd and long. I think we should have waited till we got a 2nd and short to call this, but we're down 11. We need to take a shot. This is the formation that we ran the ball before. The only thing is we're down 11, so why in the world would Miami University think we're running halfback blast with 6 minutes left? I don't know, but we call it. Let's see if it's open. Again, we got the backside wheel. Is it there? It's not. They're in zone. It's going to take them way too long to get outside, so we're scrambling right. Is Zach's open? He's not. Cool. Good scramble. Good post-snap stuff. Pre-snap decision-making, not a fan. Okay, 3rd and 4, we're running Z spot. We only need a few yards. This little quick hitch right here is a pretty good way to pick that up. The quick out to Davis is a pretty good way to pick that up. The problem that I have right here is I don't think we need to be running this to the short side. There's not enough real estate over there to make the right reads. It's going to get too jumbled. In reality, we should have flipped it to the other side. I do think I rightfully make these slants not slant in because it just kind of would have muddied the waters even more. And this is going to go back to the matchup thing that we were talking about about earlier. We know if it's zone that this concept is a great concept. There's just not enough guys over here on the right-hand side to cover everybody effectively. If it's man though, you've seen us throw a pick on a hitch. You've seen us throw a lot of incomplete passes on tight end corner routes. We're not winning these matchups in man. So that's why I make wide do a zig on the outside. I feel like the slants have been iffy on man-to-man coverage. Sometimes the corner runs the slant better than I do. So I don't want to throw a slant on man-to-man. I want to throw a zig, but this goes back to the matchup thing. This is their best corner. He's like mid to high 80s overall, and he's running press on Presley. Now, could we have beaten him deep like we did earlier in the game? Maybe, but this guy is not going to be fooled on the zig route. He covers that perfectly. I mean, didn't have a shot at all. I need to know that they have their best corner on that route right there. And instead of making X do a slant route, because I'm scared to throw the slant on man-to-man, let's get him into a curl route or something as a backup plan instead of this. And look, the slant wouldn't have been there either. That guy has a yard head start on France, so that wouldn't have worked either. So we should have put him on a curl route and thrown it to him instead. All of a sudden, we got a big 4th down. Now, the play call here is iffy, okay? I like the curl flats because I feel like you could get 4 yards even if you throw to the flat route. And what I also like here is they're in man alignment. Look, he's right back on Presley. Linebacker is head up right over Davis. Davis has crazy burners, so I know that if we get Davis going that way long enough, we can make the throw. The problem is this little hesitation right here at the top of the route takes so long to develop. I mean, why in the world am I going to sit there and let Davis do a little hesitation when we know that their defensive end has been toasting us all game? In hindsight, this should have been a short cross so he gets the depth to get 4 yards, because a drag, there's a chance he could have gotten tackled for like a 3-yard gain, but I wasn't smart enough to make that change. Luckily, they're in 2-man under, 2 high safeties, man-to-man elsewhere. That's a linebacker on Davis. You wait long enough, he's fast enough, we make the play. But again, in hindsight, this was the first play all game where that right defensive end didn't just get right by us. I mean, we got him blocked pretty well. That probably isn't going to happen again. So I like the play call, but I should have made a couple tweaks. But okay, 1st and 10, we're driving. We've been throwing it downfield. We want to run the bubble. I already don't like the alignment because he's man-to-man on Davis. I should have checked out of it immediately instead of running this against potential man coverage, because if it's man coverage, Davis isn't going to be open because that linebacker is going to run right with him. And what happens? It's man coverage. He runs right with him. Even if I wait to throw that ball, he's going to be able to crash down and make the pick. So instead, I have to scramble and we get sacked. That's just a bad play call. I should have checked out of it when I saw man alignment. I can't run a bubble against man alignment. 2nd and long, we run our shot play out of Wildcat. The Wildcat slot flex jet sweep has been awesome. I like the play call. We need big plays right here, and this is a good one. Even though it's only 8 yards, I've gotten a lot more on this before. I don't have a problem running the ball. We have enough time, so that's okay. 3rd and short, cross screen. We need to get the ball out. How many times do I need to say that we need to get the ball out on screen passes? I haven't even watched this play, but I just have a feeling we don't get the ball out. Let's see what happens. There it is. Ball barely gets out, and we pick up the 1st down. I like a screen pass on 3rd and short because we only need a couple yards, but boy, that was too close. Okay, we got to go tempo. We're staying the same formation. We call the one pass play we have stick wheel, and this is going to be where I start to make mistakes. I start tunneling the wheel route because I love it and because I know that we can win those matchups. In reality, I need to be able to make progressions, start with a quick hitch, then go over to the flat. And I don't do that. I stare at the wheel route the entire time. Luckily, just luckily, this guy is playing a hard flat on X, so he doesn't go with the wheel route. He stays down on the other flat route. We throw it to the outside, we find it in the pocket, and we get a touchdown. But man, if they were running softer flat routes where he got depth, that could have been a pick. Like here it is. The safety is going to get challenged by B, which is why he's not further outside. He is going to crash down on X, but man, look at where I'm letting go of this ball. He could easily turn and run with A and make a play there. Instead, he's in the hard flat. We got lucky, okay? We got lucky. Now we're going to go for 2 to make it a 3-point game. Just running a basic stick concept here. I like it. If it's zone, we should be able to make the read on the right-hand side. If it's man, we're going to trust the slant route. I know I said I didn't trust it earlier, but I don't think we have a choice here. It's man, you see the pressure, we throw it to the right, secure catch, good throw, good catch, 3-point game. Now, I just want to say we need a stop here. It's 3rd and 1, and we're not going to get the stop. And you could look at the defense here, and you could look at me right there and be like, hey, you got to cover the bubble. If you stop that, you win the game. But in reality, we gave Miami 7 different chances to get points from my bad turnovers earlier in the game, and they didn't capitalize. So I can't look at that bubble right there and be like, hey, that's the difference between the game. The difference was the turnovers earlier that allowed them to get to this point. So we didn't get the stop there. We're going to get the ball back down 10, and we still have a chance. If you score quickly here, we could use our 3 timeouts on defense and get the ball back with about a minute. So we could still win this game, but we need to score with at least $120 left to play in order to feel comfortable, maybe down to a minute. So we're in shot territory, okay? We're going to do a wheel route on the outside. We're going to throw it up, and I don't think it's there. I think this is just me trying to score with 20 seconds or less. So that's okay. What else do we got here? We're going to double team the right defensive end. We're running verticals. I need to look at the crosser first, and then A, and then B. Let's see how the progression goes. Let's see what's open. Okay, crosser wasn't there immediately. A's not there immediately. B's not there immediately. So we got to step up in the pocket, move left. Crosser is open once it crosses the field. I mean, once that guy gets across, the verticality of X takes the corner. That's open. That's open right there. And we just didn't get enough blocking. And I could be mad at the blocking right there. Like, hey, I would have loved another half second, but we shouldn't be in a position to where we need to throw 40-yard crosser bombs and pray for 8 seconds of blocking. So really, the mistakes that we made earlier are to blame, not our right guard only being able to block for 4.5 seconds on that play. Now, 3rd and 10, I don't know what the heck I'm doing here, man. I come out in bunch, and I'm like, oh, feels like the crosser is going to be open again. And this is a case of me getting stuck on the previous play and wanting to right the mistake the next play, because I call a crosser and I sit there and I force it and I wait, and by the time I make the other decision, it's too late, and we get a 3-yard gain, clock's running. I cannot be stuck on the previous play. I should have come out in a whole different formation, and here we go. Game on the line, 4th and 7. So we need to pick this up. We have a curl on the backside. If somebody slides over and helps out, then we know it's zone. If we know it's zone, then we should be able to make something happen with these verticals. If it's man, we hit the curl. If it's zone, we look right. So we're immediately looking over here. Does the Mike linebacker come down? Does the safety come down? What happens? Okay, no, the other guy drops. Okay, so here's this slot corner that's been hiding here all game, and he immediately drops to that side. Okay, so we know it's zone. We start looking to the right-hand side, and look at that. That guy is dropping to the flat. The linebacker is on this crosser, so we need to bullet the ball to RB yesterday. Like, that ball should be out right now. Instead, look at how long it takes for me to get this ball out. Ready? That is just way too long, and it gives the safety enough time to come up and make that stop. Okay, we're playing, I think they're in cover 4, and this guy is playing a deep quarter. That ball needs to be out right now, and maybe we could bullet it in right before that safety gets there. Instead, it takes me too long to make the read, and that's a pick, and that ends the game. I mean, if I wanted to look back at all this and be like, hey, what could we have done differently? You know, obviously, we gotta limit the mistakes. There were pre-snap mistakes and there were post-snap mistakes. When it comes to the pre-snap stuff, we did a good job of getting in position. There were a couple times, like on this drive, where we got stuck in the past and we're trying to force something there, and we decided before the ball was even snapped what we were gonna do. And there were times post-snap when we just didn't make the right reads. I gotta practice my option plays. I gotta practice my inverted veer plays so that post-snap we make those right decisions. Pre-snap, I just gotta be willing to run the ball and take what they give us. I don't need to just be 1,000 IQ and make all these hot routes all the time. If you give us 5 guys in the box and we spread you out, we should be able to run it for 7 yards. So this was super helpful for me personally. I learned a lot going through this, and I also got pretty frustrated at the past version myself for all the mistakes we made here. But hopefully this was helpful for you. Hopefully me explaining my thought process on every single play was helpful. If you'd like to see this again, let me know. If you want to see a defensive version of this, let me know. And also, if you thought this was a total waste of time, let me know so I know not to make it anymore. But that's all I got. Thank you so much for watching. This was a blast. Hopefully we get to do it again. But again, it's up to you. Peace out.